everyone, welcome to my video. We are going to be discussing the Toulmin method of argumentation. It was developed by British philosopher Stephen Toulmin. There's 6 parts to it: claim, evidence, warrant, backing, counter-argument, rebuttal, and qualifications. Now, this method is widely used in academic arguments to enhance and build clear, logical, and well-supported essays. So hopefully by the end of this video, you will understand a little better and be able to use the information when writing your essays and be successful. So why use Toulmin? Arguments don't often fail because they're wrong. They fail because they're unsupported or unclear. So the Toulmin method helps break it down into predictable, organized information. Think of it like giving your essay a skeleton. It's going to hold it all together. So let's start with the claim. The claim is going to answer, what are you trying to argue? It provides the central focus of your reasoning, and it guides your argument process through your whole essay. Then you go to the evidence. The evidence is going to answer, how do you know this is true? Well, strong evidence strengthens your credibility. It shows that your argument is grounded in reliable information. Well, then you'll go to the warrant. The warrant is where Toulmin gets unique. The warrant makes a logical connection so that it's clear for the audience. It gives reasoning behind your argument to make that connection. It connects the evidence to the claim in a way it can be followed. And then we go to the backing. So in the backing, we're answering the question, why should you believe the warrant? Well, it includes a deeper explanation or an authoritative source that makes the reasoning more convincing. So then step 5 is the counter argument and the rebuttal. Good arguments acknowledge the other side. Addressing counter arguments shows that you considered multiple perspectives and it strengthens your credibility. But then when you have a counter argument, you have to rebuttal your claim. You have to rebuttal your part. It responds directly to the counterclaim by explaining why your argument still holds. This step defends your position and reduces the strength of the opposing view. So then we go to the qualification. Well, a qualifier indicates that there's a level of certainty or the conditions under which your claim is true. Arguments rarely apply to every situation, so you need qualifiers to connect it and stay realistic. Examples are most, typically, likely, or in general. Well, now that we've gone over the 6 parts and dissected them a little bit to let you know what they're answering and what they do, let's use an example. So let's use the example of our claim, part 1, being high school students should be required to take financial literacy courses. Now that's our claim. That's what we're arguing. So we move to step 2, which is our evidence. How do we know this is true? So we give evidence such as a 2022 national survey found that young adults who took financial literacy courses were less likely to incur significant credit card debt. So that's our evidence to back up our claim. Now, how are we going to make a logical connection with part 3, our warrant? Well, we're going to say, understanding how credit card interest works helps students make smarter financial decisions. So we're adding that logical connection, what actually happens when we use credit cards, to our claim that if we have these classes, we'll understand and be more secure in making decisions. Well, we have a warrant, but now we go to part 4, to our backing. Why are we believing this warrant? What authority is making this stick, this claim stick? So we would say research from the Federal Reserve shows that early financial education leads to long-term economic stability. That's our authoritative source, our backing to our warrant. And remember, the warrant puts the claim and the evidence together. So now we go to part 5 with that. The counterclaim. What's somebody going to argue against you saying these kids, students, need these classes? They're going to argue, well, some say that high school schedules are already packed. They don't have time for it. Well, what are we going to rebuttal to that? That makes our claim hold and reduces the strength of the counterclaim. We're going to say, yes, however, many schools have successfully replaced elective hours with practical skill courses without increasing the workload. They've traded one for the other, so it doesn't add anything else to the student's workload. So that's our counterclaim and our rebuttal. And then we're going to go to the qualifiers, because why? Not all arguments apply to everything. So we're going to say most high school students would benefit from financial literacy courses. So again, the 6 parts: the claim, the evidence, the warrant, the backing, the counter argument and rebuttal, and the qualifications are the Toulmin method. Using these leads to a stronger, clearer, and more persuasive writing. You can practice these, pick a topic, write out your 6 points, and then add those to it to help you build a more logical and more effective writing skill. So hopefully you'll get some information out of this little video and it'll be helpful. I thank you for watching and I hope it helps.